Real estate agencies are losing up to 80% of all of their leads just because of slow action. And since 78% of leads work with the first agency that responds, it's insanely powerful to have systems that can instantly respond to interested leads. But at the same time, agencies that don't have this are missing out on practically guaranteed leads. In this video, I will show you a simple but insanely powerful system that the top 5% of real estate agencies are adopting to get 391% more leads, far more conversions, and be able to accept all calls all the time. To make sure that you're not clicking off this video early, check out this demo.
Hey Azim, this is Alex from Vista Real Estate. I saw you were inquiring about buying a home in Los Angeles. Could you tell me more about that? Are you looking to buy soon or exploring your options for now?
Well, I'm looking to buy ASAP actually.
Great, we can definitely help you with that. What's your ideal timeline for moving in? And are you working with any other agents right now?
I'm not working with any other agents. You're the only agency I reached out to.
Awesome, glad to be your first choice. Since you're looking to move ASAP, let's get into the details. What's your budget range, preferred neighborhoods, and how many bedrooms, bathrooms do you need? Any must-haves?
I want 3 bedrooms. I just want a nice neighborhood. My budget range, probably within $1 million. And then for must-haves, I want a yard.
Sounds good, Azim. 3 bedrooms in a nice neighborhood with a yard and staying within $1 million. Perfect. Vista is great with fast and transparent listings, even some that aren't on the market yet. How about we schedule a follow-up with one of our licensed agents who can dive into specific options, or I can email you a short list of properties. Which do you prefer?
Yeah, could you email me a short list of properties and then also like somewhere where I can schedule that follow-up?
Absolutely, Azim. I'll send over a short list of properties to your email at kodr833@gmail.com. I'll make sure it includes an easy link where you can schedule a follow-up at your convenience. Excited to help you find the perfect home in Los Angeles. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line.
Thank you, Alex. And now if I go ahead and look at my email over here, I just received an automated email. And over here, it sums up what we went over on the call, gives me a few recommendations on the homes, and also sends me a calendar link that I can use to book a consultation with. So what we have here is not just a system that is built for the sake of just being fast and reaching out to the lead quickly, but also something that is capable of hyper-personalization and putting an end to repetitive tasks such as sending out recommendations and call to actions to book consultations. Also, if you're new to the channel, what's up? My name is Azim, and I'm the founder of Inspire AI, an AI agency that helps businesses deploy advanced voice solutions that actually work. From booking appointments to performing sales calls, we streamline repetitive tasks, cut costs, and much more. So if you're a business owner and you're looking to implement something similar, don't hesitate to book a free consultation with me using the calendar link I dropped in the description. For a limited time, I'm offering 2 more businesses to get on that call and receive a free blueprint for their business that they can set up to start growing their business with AI today. And now, let's dive into the full setup of this agent and why it will change the real estate game for agencies in 2025. So the first step in this setup is to of course go to nan.io, an automation platform that you've probably heard of before. If you already have an account, just sign in. Otherwise, you can get a 2-week free trial if you're just signing up. Besides NAN, we're also going to be using Vappy to set up and prompt our voice agent. Once you're inside of NAN, just create a new workflow. I already have my workflow created, and the way you're going to get this exact workflow too is by heading to the description where I've dropped my resource library. You can get the prompt as well as the full workflow blueprint for free. When you find the NAN workflow is going to be in something called a JSON file. You're simply going to download that JSON file, and when you're inside of a NAN, you're going to go ahead to this top right corner and you're going to hit those 3 dots and then import the blueprint from file. After you're done that, just head into Vappy. It's completely free to sign up and use, and you're of course going to go to your assistant section and then click on create new assistant. You can start with a blank template for now and name this something relating to real estate. I already have my real estate agent ready, but what you're going to once again do is access this entire prompt for free inside of my resource library. As I mentioned before, you can find that in the description. And while you're there, if you're a business owner that is looking to use voice agents inside of their business, whether it's for real estate or another use case, go ahead and grab a 15-minute free intro chat with me to discuss that and get actionable advice, as well as a working system that you can start using today. Once you found the prompt, you're simply going to paste it into Vappy, and we can set up some basic settings. So what I like to do is I like to use GPT 4.1. Just click publish. For the voice, you can just keep Elliot. For the transcriber, you can set this to a more advanced transcriber, so you can set it to Nova 3 or Nova 3 General. And from here, you've basically set everything up inside of Vappy. Once you're inside, you're going to make a few small changes. one thing we need to make sure our assistant is able to call others is an API key, which tells NAN that the agent we're using is really from our account. The way you get access to this API key is by going to Vapi, and in the left-hand sidebar, you're going to click on Vapi API keys. From here, just copy your default private key, head back to NAN, and just replace what you see here, which is my API key. Just paste it inside, and make sure to be very careful because you can't have any spaces after this, and you must have a space between the bearer and the API key itself. After this, scroll down to the body content type and the specify body. What we have here is just a JSON body. It's nothing more than a request to Vapi that fetches our assistant and prepares it to make a call. You're going to notice two ID fields over here. One of them is called assistant ID and the other is called phone number ID. The way you're going to get the assistant ID is by heading back to your agent, and over here near the actual name of the agent, you're going to see an ID and an option to copy it. So just copy it, and once again, remove my ID and paste in yours. For the phone number ID, we're going to do something very similar. Inside of Vapi, you'll also see that there's an option called phone numbers. Just click on that, and what you're going to do if you're in the United States is create a phone number. Vapi allows you to have up to 10 free numbers that you can use, but if you're not inside of the US, you can still get a phone number. There are many options to do this. One of the most popular ways to do this is just import it from Twilio. You can go ahead to twilio.com and get a phone number to then connect it to Vapi. There are many tutorials you can find on YouTube, but I'll make sure to link one in my resource library so that you can set it up with no hassle. After you have the numbers set up inside of Vapi, you're going to go to the top right, and once again, just copy this phone number ID that you see here. You're going to head back and replace my phone number ID with yours. Next, we are going to do something very similar. Once again, click inside of this blue icon and scroll down to the authorization and bearer section. You're going to notice that it's very similar to what we saw before. You're going to get your API key once again and just do the same thing. Replace my API key, make sure there's a space between the bearer and the API key, and make sure that there's nothing else. Next, what we're going to move on to is our personalized email agent. What this personalized email agent will do within just a few minutes of the call ending is fetch the exact transcript and summary of the call, as well as the person's email and phone number from before. For this agent, we're just going to have to set up a few small things. Because you've gotten the blueprint, you'll already have the prompt inside of it, so there's no need to get that. But besides that, click into the send email module, and you may or may not have a credential here depending on if you've used NAN before. If you already have a credential, this is pretty straightforward. You're just going to set up the exact same options I have over here, but if you don't have a credential, just click into this drop down menu and then click create new credential. The way you're going to make sure NAN remembers your email is by just signing in with a Google account. And giving NAN all of the permissions it needs. From here, just set up the exact options I have over here, and you're all set for the email sending. Next, what you can do is set up a chat model. A chat model is basically the AI that allows the AI agent to function. There are many chat model options to choose from. So for example, you have Anthropic, which is Claude, OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, Grok from Twitter, and many other options. What I'm personally using for this build is Azure OpenAI, and that's because Microsoft has a deal to get $1,000 or more of free credits that you can use. The setup does take a bit longer, and it's around 10 to 15 minutes, but I'll provide a tutorial video you can watch to set that up. For those of you who are familiar with OpenRouter or OpenAI, you can use that too, but just know that you're still paying for the credits yourself. So once again, I'll link a tutorial video for setting up Azure as well as the actual deal that allows you to get those free credits. But that's basically it. The last tool you'll see here is called Search. What this search tool allows us to do is to create personalized emails. So once we fetch the transcript or summary from the call, we know the exact location where the caller would like to buy a home or where they are selling this home. This allows us to run some deep research and send to people that are looking to buy a home a few options to look into, and for people who are selling, some actionable insights and tricks they can use to start getting their home ready for a sale. This not only helps real estate agencies quickly respond, but also provide a bunch of value that they can use to increase their conversion rates by over 391%. Anyway, the way you're going to set this up is by using the Perplexity API. Perplexity is another AI service, but it's more about researching the internet and returning information that you can use. The setup is very similar to what we did with Vapi, because all we're doing is just heading to our settings and then heading over to this API keys section. I'm not going to go there because it shows all of my API keys and I don't want them to get leaked. But what you would do is just copy the API key you receive, head back into NAN, create a new credential, and then set it up by just pasting your API key inside. And besides that, that's it for the Perplexity tool, because you already have go-to prompts which I have set up, and you don't need to worry about anything else. The Perplexity API is free, but you have a very limited number of searches that you can make per day, so just keep that in mind. But if you'd like me to provide you with a blueprint that you can use for free, to perform pretty much the same tasks, just comment that below and I'll reply to you ASAP. After setting up our email agent, pretty much all you have left to do is set something up so that we can store call details and capture lead information. The simplest way to do this is by creating a Google Sheet and then mapping all of the information inside of there. Quite simply, what you're going to do is access the Google Sheet I dropped inside of the resource library, and then you're going to click on File and make a copy for yourself. Once you've made that copy, go inside of the Google Sheet node and set up a credential the same way you would for a Gmail account. Once you have your account connected, make sure to choose the same options as I have. So we're going to append or add a row to the real estate outbound sheet, and the actual sheet name is Sheet 1. After walking through this entire setup with you, I actually realized that I forgot to tell you how to set up the module that actually gets everything started. What I used for simplicity reasons was the form node. This is just your regular form, and it's very similar to something like a Google form. When you upload the blueprint, the form should already be completely set up for you, so no worries about that. In order to actually access the form, what we're going to need to do is click on Execute Step. As you see, just seconds later, NAN says that it's listening for a test form submission. So as soon as I submit this form with my phone number, name, address, and more, it's going to instantly call me. So I've just filled out this form, and when I submit it, it's going to start calling my number. As you see here, the node has been executed successfully. So what I'm quickly going to do is just run down over the main statistics of real estate agencies' problems and then show you the 12-month ROI of using voice agents in an agency. So first of all, 48% of real estate leads never receive a response, and then another 30 to 40% receive slow or late responses when they have already reached an agency's competitors. And because speed to lead is such an important factor in real estate, you get 391% better conversion within 1-minute responses, versus when responses take longer than 30 minutes, because half an hour or more later, callers have already talked to your competitors, and they don't need your services anymore. And even when you compare a team of 4 voice agents that handled the outbound calls we discussed today, along with appointment reminders, lead recovery, which is just calling leads that have recently canceled, as well as inbound appointment booking, the savings are absolutely massive. 2 human sales agents will cost over $130,000 per year because they require a salary, benefits, and training. But when you compare that to 4 AI agents, they cost less than a single sales agent would. And keep in mind that these $39 actually include the upfront cost of year 1. In the following years, this would decrease to around $15,000 to $20,000. And here's just a simply monthly breakdown of what implementing a voice agent team could look like for an average real estate agency in America. So the first month comes with an upfront cost, but by the second month, you're already generating $7,600. So you're able to break even after the second month. And since an average real estate agency would earn $7,600 monthly in profit, by the end of the year, this would add up to over $76,000. So on one hand, you're saving $98,000 per year on sales agents and freeing them up to actually do important work. And at the same time, you're earning an additional 5, almost 6 figures a year. When you combine those two numbers, the full impact is worth over $170,000. So if you just use the setup I showed you today, which is only one of the 4 agents, you're already saving yourself multiple 5 figures a year. But the potential to add in the 3 other agents and profit from them is even more insane. But even if you're looking to sell a system like this yourself, it's very powerful simply because of the huge financial impact it has. And as a business, sure, you could definitely go ahead and set this up, even though it may take you a few months and a lot of trial and error to get the system running. But if you're looking for a clear and actionable plan and setup that allows you to reliably save 6 figures with these kind of systems, now is the time to take action. You already have one of the systems that I've provided you in this video, and if you go ahead and grab one of the 2 remaining spots that I have in my calendar, you can get the second setup and actionable advice for completely free. So if you're looking to do just that, go ahead and grab your spot. But if you enjoyed this video and you're looking to learn more about these types of solutions, make sure to subscribe to my channel and drop a comment on what you would like to see in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.